Hello and welcome to Sharon Local History. We recently organized hike to King Philip Rock and King Philip Cave, and here is past president of Sharon Friends of Conservation, who will tell us more about the boulders from astroarcheological perspective.
Okay, I'm going to say a little bit about the...
But what about yourself? Who are you, mister?
About the who?
Who are you? Introduce
who
yourself.
am I? I'm
Thank
Kurt Buerman, past president of Sharon Friends of Conservation, and I know a fair amount about the archaeology here at King Philip's Rock and in this area.
And if I may interrupt, many times when you walk on our trails, if you see cute little benches or boardwalks, most of the time Kurt was involved and was making them.
Yeah, well, the Boy Scouts did a lot. I sort of said, we need one here and they'll build a boardwalk, whatever. So they did. Can't give enough credit to our Boy Scouts. Yeah. Okay, should I commence? Yeah?
Go ahead.
Okay, well, it's interesting. Many years ago, many years ago, well, 20,000 years ago, if we were here, we'd have about 1 mile of ice over our heads. And the Earth was a cold place. Gradually, the ice started to melt. And at that time, when it was melting, there's a range of, let's say on average, 80,000 years ago, some sooner, a little later, people started to move here. And King Philip's Rock and the area was a place where it's believed that these people inhabited, in short. And I'm just thinking which direction to go. There's a lot to it. But when you get to King Philip's Cave, it's highly... there's a man, Frederick Martin, who was a physicist, but his hobby was studying the rocks, and they call it astroarcheology. So that has to do with the heavens, and it's believed a lot of sites, King Philip's Cave in particular, was used to observe the summer and winter solstice. And if you get down in there at the right time of year, you can see this beam of sunlight projected on the cave wall, a lot like the Indiana Jones movies where at the right time there's a little beam. And Dr. Martin studied this significantly. He brought in some experts, and one of the experts said that he believed some of the rocks at King Philip's Cave had been chipped a little this way and that in order to project the sunbeam in the right place. Okay, so there were these prayer sheets, and it's just some rocks in a U form. And the point was that the ancient person, the priest or whoever, would sit in this and observe, for example, the North Star. Okay, so Dr. Martin got to figuring this out, and he said, well, these seats, they don't really line up with the North Star. So he went to some people and they ran the astronomy backwards, and they figured, yes, it did line up with the North Star, but the North Star was at that time a star called Theban. So they were able to...
So this is how far back? About 5,000 years ago?
I've got it in here. Oh yeah, from that they figured out that these observations were 2,000 to 8,000 years ago. Yeah. Oh yeah, 4,000 years ago, Thuban, not Theban, was the star. It was in the Draco constellation. That was closest to true north. Yeah. Well, anyway, there's this evidence. There's another stone on East Hill, which they believe was used to observe something called the lunar standstill. And if you observe the moon over an 18-year period, it'll set in the south, and then it works its way to setting in the north over a period, I believe it's 9.5 years, and then it goes back again. And this way they could keep track of longer periods of time. Now, interesting thing is when people are at King Philip's Cave, they say, well, how could they see that rock? We've got all the trees and stuff here. But back then, the ice had retreated. The glaciers had retreated. So this looked more like a prairie, like a rolling prairie. You didn't have all these trees and forest that hadn't had time to fill in. So interesting, that's why we still have open town meeting, because of Dr. Martin's observations, and that's his story. But Dr. Martin had published in Massachusetts, essentially in a peer-reviewed but not an official publication. And finally he got into the Massachusetts Archaeological Society's magazine, their bulletin, and it goes into great detail about King Philip's and the area there. If anybody is interested in following this further, it's really hard to talk about in the short thing. If you're interested, you could email Sharon Friends of Conservation, and I can supply you with a lot more stuff if you want to dig into it. Now,
just a Kurt, if you remind me, also let's put it on the website, on our Sharon FOC website.
Yeah, we'll put it all on the website, so you'll have access. There are a lot of documents. So anyway, when they were going to vote to have a town, our town have representative town meeting instead of open town meeting as we have now, they were upset because the town had bought 5 acres of land up here, sort of for Dr. Martin to preserve his artifacts at $600,000. And this past town meeting, a lot of people were extremely upset. So it was preserved. The point. But the reaction to that started a movement to have representative town meeting. Now, just about the time the opposition, the people that wanted to keep open town meeting, started to gather and oppose the change, the Massachusetts Archaeological Society's bulletin came out vindicating Dr. Martin in a peer-reviewed article. So it's sort of funny how these things so long ago can affect our life today. And just, a lot of people in town went ballistic. 600,000 for 5 acres, but to preserve the site. Anyway, if you have any question, I can answer some now. I know I'm sort of all over the place. And I also brought some copies of the original article we did. And this, you might want to take 1 or 2 with you to the rock, and you can identify the place. It's sort of on this, not the rock, the cave. When you get to the cave, you can identify the place that Dr. Martin is looking.
You want to pass a few around?
Kurt, thank you so much for doing this. Can we clap for Kurt? Thank you. That's awesome. Great information.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, enjoy. Do not confuse the cave with the rock. This happens. People looking all over King Philip's Rock. Where is this? Remember, this is at the cave, King Philip's Cave. And
Thank you so much.
that's it.
If you are interested in learning more, you can find more articles attached on Sharon Friends of Conservation website. Thank you for watching Sharon Local History.